Hey guys, and welcome to the Monday Night Call. My name's Sarah. I've been with the Juice Plus company for around 18 months now. And my reason for getting into the business is probably just my passion about health and my interest in health. I'm actually a Pilates instructor and a dance instructor. So I work with a lot of people in food and health issues. So it's something I've taught myself along the way. I've done a bit of nutrition as well. So one of those things I'm actually really passionate about is gut health. And it's something that's in the media a lot these days. It's quite a new thing that's coming about. It's new information. And I think the biggest thing with it at the moment is we're actually at the beginning of the science when it comes to gut health. We actually don't know that much, but there's some significant things that we do know. And we do know that there's billions and billions of gut bacteria in our large intestine. And they're really important. They serve a lot of functions, and in particular with the immune system, our gut actually holds a lot of our immune cells. So it's really important that they have this communication going on between those gut bacteria that are inside our large intestine and their immune cells. So it's really important what we're eating. Now, inside our gut, there's actually trillions and trillions of these tiny little bacteria, and they do exist in other areas of our body. They exist, in our mouth, in our nose, and our skin, but most of them do exist in the large intestine. And it's a diverse range of bacteria, and we don't actually know specifically what they all are and what they all need. But there's a couple of things that we do know, and that's that they do need whole foods, and most importantly, they need fibre from good whole foods, from complex carbohydrates and from fruits and vegetables and berries. So it comes back to that whole food diet, which is really important, which is what I'm really passionate about. And fibre is also that other really big one. So we need that fibre from the complex carbohydrates, as opposed to a lot of the processed foods we're eating these days. They're actually getting absorbed in our small intestine, and we're just absorbing that sugar and that fat, and nothing's getting into the large intestine, and therefore our gut bacteria are actually starving and they're dying. And that's causing a lot of issues with autoimmune diseases. A lot of the diseases out there, inflammatory diseases, can now be related back to our gut health. So it's something I'm really passionate about. Where do we fit in with the product in our company? Juice Plus is a whole foods based company. So basically our main product is, I've just got it hidden behind here. Excuse me for a second. It's actually just fruits, vegetables and berries. And as I said, we don't know so much about gut bacteria, what they need specifically. But what we do know is that you need a big wide variety of whole foods to be feeding that good gut bacteria. So we have our fruit blend, we've got our vegetable blend, and we've got our berry blend. And what I love about this is when I'm taking this every single day, I know that I'm giving that good gut bacteria in my body that huge diverse range of different fruits and vegetables. I think most of us are culprits of, say, going to the supermarket and choosing your broccoli and your carrot and what have you, or whatever those things that and we don't necessarily step outside of those things. And it's not necessarily that fresh, all those issues. But what I love about this product is it's all vine ripened. It's really good quality produce. It's not organic, but it's the way that it's actually grown and tested and actually monitored is actually, in my opinion, better than organic. So they've got those testing regimes. And as I said, I'm getting things every day. I wouldn't be eating bilberries and cranberries and even raspberries and things that I do eat every now and then. I wouldn't be eating them every day. The things in the vegetables, we've got the broccoli, beetroot, tomato, kale. Got your rice bran, which is in there for your fibre, which I said is really important. So every single day I know I'm getting these top quality fruits, vegetables and berries. They've been vine ripened and monitored and picked and harvested and grown with love, and it all comes down to that whole food based diet. The other product we do have is our complete shakes. Got two flavours here. I've only got vanilla left because the chocolate's just too good and they're all in my house. So they are a shake based product. They're designed to be had as a beverage. However, I'm not much of a shake person personally. Actually, I just like to make things taste like vanilla or chocolate. So I just add these powders in. And they're all plant-based. So again, it comes back to that plant-based food diet. They're a balanced meal made of that protein, that fat, the carbohydrates. And what I love the most about this product is the amount of fibre in it. So most of us just are not eating enough fibre each day. And as I said, it comes back to that gut health and feeding that good bacteria. We're just not getting enough fibre. These have 8 grams of fibre in them. So you're getting that insoluble and soluble fibre. And it's coming from good grains, things like amaranth, quinoa, chickpea. You need protein from soy and rice. So the grains in here, I'm really passionate. I actually believe in eating grains personally, in good quality, complex carbohydrates. And there's a lot of these in here, as well as things like your alfalfa sprouts. So again, 21 different plants in these, and I add them to raw foods and things, and I'm just getting that extra nutrients. The other product we've got is our soft chews. These are for the kitties. So again, you know, that gut bacteria. I mean, the microbiome that exists in our kids' intestines is so delicate, and it's so important to be nourishing that at such a young age. But again, it comes back to feeding our kids really good whole foods, and kids can be fussy, let's face it, you know, hard to get all the fruits and vegetables in them. So these chews actually contain small amounts of the powder that's in these ones. So they're hidden, so easy to get in the kiddies. They taste like lollies, and they've just got 19 different fruits and veggies and berries, so you don't have to fight with the kids every day to be getting an Edmonton. They actually want to eat it. So our product range is quite simple. And again, it just all connects back to that whole food-based diet, which is what I'm really passionate about, that gut health and thriving, and how it is connected to so much disease that's out there at the moment. So I could talk all night, but I'm actually going to hand over to a couple of people who have some stories that are really significant in relation to our gut health. The first person I'm going to hand over to is Shell. So Shell, if you want to take yourself.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. I am super excited to be with you here tonight to talk about gut health, because for me, the changes to my life have been nothing less than incredible. So I have celiac disease. So for those of you who don't know, celiac disease is an autoimmune disease that is essentially presents like an allergy in response to the presence of gluten, which is a protein that's found predominantly in wheat, barley, oats. So for me, I was diagnosed over a decade ago, and before my diagnosis, I struggled with all the typical symptoms of celiac. I was always tired, was always getting sick, was not a happy camper. Depression's a massive part of celiac disease, as well as the gastrointestinal issues. So for me, I had horrible dermatitis. I was very stinky human. I couldn't control my gas. I was often clogged up or too loose, and the big thing for me though is I developed pancreatitis. So my pancreas actually got to the point where it could stop processing. So part of celiac disease is that the inside of your stomach can't process nutrients. So I was very malnourished. I had pancreatitis setting in, and I was prescribed a drug to take every day for the rest of my life. And I also, the reactions I had to gluten, even after my diagnosis, were very extreme. It would see me incapacitated for a week with all sorts of things. Within 7 minutes of ingesting gluten, I would vomit. The vomiting necessarily wouldn't stop. It would sometimes take an injection at a hospital to stop the vomiting. I would have diarrhea for 3 or 4 days, and then I would be constipated. And all in all, it would see me taking weeks at a time off work. So that was life before Juice Plus. After diagnosis, things settled down a little bit, but like I said, that was a decade ago, and this was my life only 15 months ago. I introduced Juice Plus, and to be so brutally truthful, the results have been astounding. The dermatitis disappeared in a week. I've got energy, I've got vibrancy, I've got vitality. I had an operation today, and they've just said to me about 15 minutes ago that they think I'm right to go home right now. So I'm not that sickly person anymore. I'm recovering and I'm living in great health. I don't have to take the pancreatic enzymes anymore, so I don't need to spend the rest of my life taking a medication every day, which also had impacts on my kidneys. But when I do get glutened, I don't get sick like I used to. It's 24 hours. It's 1 day of discomfort rather than a week of debilitation. And I've obviously never experienced anything like it. And I've seen this amongst my friends as well. So as well as the typical Juice Plus results of, great skin, hair, nails, and all the pretty stuff, as well as having that energy, it's even more magnetized. magnified for me because my starting point was so incredibly poor. So gastrointestinal health is a massive passion of mine. I've been learning lots more about nutrition since coming into the Juice Plus business late last year. And I'm just super excited to be able to share this with people, because the impact of your gut on your overall health cannot be underestimated. And when you find something so simple as fruits, berries, veggies, and fiber and plants, and it can change your whole way of being, it's quite phenomenal. So I won't drag on because I actually have to go and check out a hospital. But thank you for letting me speak tonight. I say for anyone out there who's struggling with celiac disease and struggling with all those really niggly little things that can happen, this is an opportunity for you to change your entire life so simply and so easily. So back to you, please, Sarah.
So much, Shell. That's so amazing that you're sharing from hospital. That's awesome. And like celiac is just the perfect example of an autoimmune disease and that inflammatory process in the body. So that's just a perfect story that's in relation to gut health. And I love hearing what you've learned in your journey. And it can help so many other people out there that are struggling. So I'm actually going to hand it over next to Candy. She's going to share with us and pass it over to a couple of stories as well. So, Candy.
Thanks, Saz. And Shell, we hope you get better. I know you just had an operation in your ear, so thank you so much for jumping on and sharing with us tonight, darling. And as Sarah's speaking, it's, we have this amazing product, and we get really excited about our mission behind it, because we all know people who are suffering from some kind of dis-ease. It's a dis-ease in our bodies. And as Sarah was sharing, a lot of it's coming from our gut health. So, you think about all the people that you love and care about, helping get these little berries and these little, I love to call them my little berry bombs, into their system every day, that's going to work for them. Like, how amazing. And that's what we're all about, is our mission behind it, because you know what, we all know what it feels like to be unhealthy, and I really believe that we've got the best gift to hand on. So when I looked at taking Juice Plus, it was kind of a no for me. But when I was shown the opportunity of being able to build my own little online business, I didn't get it, to be honest. I really had to get some questions answered. And to be really frank, I was really skeptical, because I just didn't know how it would work, and I really didn't think I had a lot of time. But I'm a personal trainer here on the Gold Coast, and I really am very passionate about helping people not only look good on the outside, but it really comes from the inside. So this product resonated quite a lot with me. So when I realized how we do this business, and it is just a mission. We are a bunch of inspired people working together to a common goal, and that's to help as many people as possible with their health, but also their income and the stress and the finances that a lot of households are in these days in Australia. So, how does it all work? I don't know if any of you guys have ever worked in a corporate world, but it can be really a struggle street. You're working 40, 60, 70 plus hours a week. You're getting paid a salary. You're pretty much not getting looked after all that much. You have to put your hand up, go to the toilet, or go on holiday. You've got to ask for so many weeks off. Whereas what I loved about this with this Juice Plus business was I could do this business around my life already. As a trainer, I was doing it in stolen moments. I could go on holidays when I wanted to go on holidays, and my business still grew because it was all about building leverage in my business, and that means by helping other people. And I'd never seen this concept before. It kind of blew my mind that, wow, I can build a business whilst helping other people build a successful business, and like we all win. I thought it was incredible. We have a company who recognizes our hard work and who invest in us, not only time and energy, but also like dollar signs. They love giving us bonuses. I don't know the last time anyone had a Christmas bonus or a congratulations, you're awesome bonus. Anyone? No? But, so we not only get this revenue of income, it's also this emotional revenue that we get to share by listening to the stories like, Shell's, no one could ever give you that much money, right, to see that a life has changed. So it's all about helping people. When people join our mission, you get a blueprint, a success plan, you get the same products, we pay the same annual fee of $165. We can grow an income that might be only $500 a month to several $1,000s and beyond. It really just depends on how inspired you are and what kind of vision you have for yourself and family. So, when I definitely looked at this position or this role, I was like, I don't want to go hunt my friends down. Like, is it one of those? Like, I just don't want to do that. But we're natural networkers. I call it, it's more like sharing marketing. Like, it's like this, you share, if you love something, you tell everyone. You go to the restaurant, you go to the movies, you get a great hairdresser. I don't know how many people I've sent to my masseuse, like, I'm waiting for my check. Just kidding. But we're just natural referrals. When something is real to you, you're going to share it with people, and that's what Juice Plus is all about. We use a product that we love, we talk about it, we share the results, and then we leave it in other people's hands to decide whether it fits for them or not. So there's no hunting, no chasing, and the joy is it's a duplicatable system, so you don't have to go and reinvent the wheel and go and do marketing or anything like that. It's all there for you, and your team help you grow your business and have your hand every step of the way. So it is it's just this, teach to teach, as we like to call it. So the person who brought me into the business showed me everything I needed to do. Then I brought my team member in, showed them what to do, and it's just duplicated down the line. And, we've continued to take on more and more, team, and we're all working towards a common goal. So that was a really phenomenal thing, because it wasn't just about my goals or, my mentor's goals. It was all of us as a tribe. So, normally I draw it all up, but this is shits and giggles night tonight, right? Like, life can be way too straight and strict and what have you. So, it is just the stories, and it's something that makes you jump out of bed. You have this need. It's not just I've got to go to work. I'm inspired. It's a responsibility to share Juice Plus and our mission, because there's a lot of people struggling out there, both health and wealth. So, and our company really reward us. They pay us three ways. We get a retail profit by connecting our company with our customer, and the company ships out the product. They do the payments. They make it really simple for us, and they also pay us a commission as we build our business and help grow our team, and they also pay us bonuses, which is a once-off, as we move along in our journey. They recognise our hard work and pay us bonuses. So, again, I could talk about the products, I could talk about the business a lot, but it is just the stories. It really is that get you out of bed and get you fired up, because you just think, what if? What if this could help someone? What if that could help my best friend, or my niece or nephew, or the neighbour's children, or whoever it is? What if? I don't get to choose. It's not about me. It's just about sharing it with people. So, Beck, if you can take yourself off mute, hon, I would just love for you to just share. We were having this conversation last week about, your health problems around gut, and we were just in hysterics. So I really do hope you share it, because it is like, I've never spoken so much about poo in my entire life. And that's what I get paid to do. It's freaking awesome, because, it is. We don't take ourselves seriously. We're not doctors. We're not, we're not the professionals. We're just being real. So, Beck, if you can share your amazing story about what the product's done, but also what the business has done, honey.
Do you want me to share the story in all its glory?
Totally. If you're comfortable, I think we would get so much emotional revenue out of that story. Totally.
Okay. So before Juice Plus, I had terrible bowels. I would either be one way where I was completely constipated, and I would maybe not go to the toilet for 4 or 5 days, and then it would be painful and it would bleed. and it would just be the most horrible experience. And it didn't actually matter what I ate. Even when I went on to really, really good, healthy diets, the only thing that seemed to get my bowels moving was a bottle of red, but that obviously wasn't something that you should be doing every day. Or it went the other way. And so what Candy's talking about was my amazing story where I had just been to a park with the twins when they were about 18 months old, and they were in the car. And I was coming back from the park, and home was about half an hour away. And I got in the car, and I'm suddenly like, whew, breaking into that sweat. I know that I've got an upset tummy. My gut was churning, the pain, the sweats, and then suddenly the relief as it went away. And I'm getting closer to home. I'm like about 15 minutes away, and the sweats are getting closer together. The pain is excruciating. But by this point, I'm thinking, if I get out the car at the petrol station, get two 18-month-old twins out the car, run into the petrol station, I'm likely to crap myself in the middle of like the foyer. So I'm like, all right, I just got to hold on. It's going to happen. I can get home. So I've all the way through, I've like, you know, like I say, the sweats, I know that feeling. I can even take myself back there right now. Anyway, I've pulled up to some traffic lights, and I thought, 5 minutes away from home, but I just don't think I'm going to make it. So I found like this plastic bag on the floor. I've sat on it. Just as it sort of all happens, a policeman pulls up next to me, and I'm thinking, oh shit, no pun intended, but if he gets me to get out the car now, we're all in trouble. Thankfully he didn't, but I did. I pooped myself on a plastic bag all up my back. But you know what? I have to say, I'm not sure whether I was horrified at this moment, because the relief was just so amazing that I was actually just so grateful that it had happened, because I was no longer in pain and I no longer had sweats. Pulled up to my house, and my neighbour's like, hey, Beck. And I was like, oh, can't get out the car at the moment. We're just going somewhere, because obviously I didn't want to get out the car. But yeah, I can honestly say that since being on Juice Plus, thank God that has not happened since. And the thing is, I think that actually sharing that story, because I do know so many people that has happened to, not necessarily in a car with a plastic bag, but, you know, where, you know, you've been on a walk in the morning and suddenly it's got to that point where they're like, I need a toilet, like now, because they've suddenly got diarrhea, or, you know, the same where they can't go for a few days. And I think that as soon as I got onto Juice Plus, it was within a couple of weeks I noticed. And I recently ran out, and I noticed the constipation coming back. So, but also my skin, I used to have blackheads, and I swear that it's because obviously my body's now getting rid of the toxins the way it should do. I'm not getting the blackheads in my skin anymore. And I don't get the morning headaches. And I'm sure it's because I don't have those toxins going around my body, because it's just coming out every day like it should have been for all those years. But as far as the business goes, I jumped on the business pretty much the same time as I jumped on the product. And I mean, I'm nearly 3 years in September, and I can honestly say it's completely changed my life. I get to stay home with the kids. You know, they're all at school now, but I get to just go and meet new people, make new friends. I recently went back to work for 2 weeks to help a friend out, and I can honestly say I'm so grateful that experience is finished, because, you know, I was swapping time for money. I was making $20 an hour. I was really doing it just to help her out. But, you know, I'd get that feeling like on a Monday morning where I was thinking, oh God, I've got to go back into work. I don't want to go to work. What did I say I'd do this for? And it actually started limiting my life. I had to say no to things again. And I was like, oh, I don't like this work thing anymore. And then actually one of the girls got sick, and I woke up, and Kane and I were back to that same dilemma. Which one of us calls in sick, you or me? Because one of us has got to. Mine's a new thing. I'm letting my friend down if I don't go into work. And I was like, I remember this feeling, and I remember why I gave up work, because I really didn't want that feeling anymore. And thank goodness, you know, she's got someone to help her now full time, and I don't need to be in a job anymore. And it's just, you know, it makes you feel so good knowing you don't have those pressures of a job when you've got children. So my story, business and products, and my poop story.
Awesome. Thank you, darling. And, you know, like, you're just awesome. And, like, everyone cracked up on this. And we're not laughing at you. We're laughing with you, because, let's be honest, most of us might be shadow poop pantsers, all right? So it's totally cool. But this is what I love about it. You know, where else can you be this real with people, right? Where else can you just speak your mind and share your stories without being judged? Because we all suffer in some kind of way, and then there's all this shame and everything. And, you know, I've heard countless, I've actually ran out of these stories around gut health, around constipation, you know, diarrhea, IBS, Crohn's, celiac. There's some other big ones that I can't ever say, but, you know, even people just getting really bad bloating and cramping, and, you know, it's the body's showing you something, right? And it's been amazing, especially for people with Crohn's, because a lot of foods they cannot eat. And I don't know if we've got many people on with Crohn's at the moment. So a lot of foods that they can't eat. I've got a few customers who can actually take the capsules, so they're actually getting the nutrients that they could never actually get in because they can't eat it and digest it and keep it, you know. So, you know, again, I always say, what if? It's definitely not curing anything. It's not curing a single thing. This is all about, you know, nourishing the body from within in a really convenient, quick way. And, you know, our mission is to share this. I don't know all the people you guys know. So the way of getting this product out into households and changing the lives of every single rooftop in not only our state or country, but worldwide, we need more people out there sharing what we do, you know, sharing the product. Because I don't know a gazillion people in the world, and all the people on the call tonight, if you can go and share this with one or two people, that's our mission. That's what we do. So thank you so much, Sarah, for that amazing information. You know, it's so, we love helping to educate as well. You know, we're not doctors or scientists, but we're so passionate. And to Shell and Beck, thank you so much for sharing your beautiful stories, because let's be honest, you know, we all do number ones and we all do number twos. It's just natural life. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. The garbage has got to be put out every day. It's like taking out your garbage on a Wednesday night or what have you and having it emptied out. If it's not, there's a backlog and it's going to be rank and disgusting, right? And it's going to create some kind of chaos and disease within the body, just like it would on your streets. And my favourite line, if you're not drinking enough water, you can't go down a slippery slide without getting stuck if there's no water. It's the same as with your bowel movements, okay? So make sure you stay hydrated. I love it. And have a beautiful night, guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we look forward to seeing you all soon. See you.